little squirrels. Good morning. Oh my goodness, this is my hand. It doesn't even fit in the room. Pizza slices are as big as my head. It's a little school bus. How many days is today? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh my god. Welcome to day number 7 here in America and here in New York City. If you're new here, I'm Ash, and usually we adventure around Australia, but for these next few videos I'm actually here in New York City in the United States of America. I've woken up this morning. It's a beautiful fall morning here. The weather is definitely starting to change, which is amazing. I'm so happy about it. And I've decided today I'm doing Midtown Manhattan at the moment. So I'm going to get a bagel from a very famous bagel store that my friends told me about, and I'm going to catch the train, the subway into Manhattan. I'm going to do Chelsea, I'm going to do the High Line, I'm going to do Midtown. I'm probably going to get to Grand Central Station and just explore the next day. Oh, come along with me on these next few days and yeah, just exploring Manhattan City as a tourist here in America. Tell you what makes me so happy right now. The leaves are finally starting to change color and we are set to go to upstate New York tomorrow, and I'm so excited. I've seen the fall leaves once when I was in the US in 2018 in Tennessee, and it was just a sea of golden with some flecks of red. I'm just so excited. But anyway, excited to explore the city some more today. Heading to Frankel's Bakery, and apparently they've got some amazing bagels here, so I'll be the judge of that because I've had a few here so far. Can't tell you how excited I am to go visit the pumpkin patch this weekend. Ah! I love how everything has pumpkins on it. It's so cute.
Swiss or American? Or American?
Come to Frankel's. They've got their famous one. Again, everything bagel with the scallion. Look at that.
Thank you. You too, buddy. Thank you.
That's so much. That's really good. Okay, that bagel was so tasty. Oh my goodness, even if you ask for a half serve of cream cheese, because I'm talking like it comes in like a 2 centimeter thick swad on the bagel, which is amazing. But I can't eat that much cream cheese. Like, it's a lot. It's really rich. And oh my goodness, the serving size, it's about $6 US for the upper end of these bagels. The first one I had in Brooklyn was actually $3.75 or something like that, plus tax. So they're not like dirt cheap, but for what you get, oh my goodness, they're huge. They're so tasty, and it's such a classic New York thing to have for breakfast. So I've just gotten off at 8th Avenue, heading towards Meatpacking Chelsea area now. And again, parts of the city, they're similar, but they're so different. Anyway, this area seems to be a lot more chill and quiet and less congested, especially considering the rest of Midtown. So let's explore Meatpacking Chelsea High Line. thoughts about the Chelsea markets? Absolutely go hungry. There are so many food options in there. The lines are pretty long though, so I'd say probably play it strategic and not go around lunchtime. I am here at 12:30, so that's probably peak as it gets, between 12 and 1 or 2. I'm now thinking I'm going to go to a place called Little Island before I hop on the High Line. It's right near here and I was recommended it by a friend. It's a block and a half basically east. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Little Island and then head a few blocks further down south. I do want to start at the southernmost point of the High Line because I know making the whole walk is definitely worth it. So let's go to Little Island, then the High Line. Okay, you really could fool me that this is on literally the side of Manhattan. It's so peaceful here. Everyone's just kind of chilling out, doing their own thing. There's different rehearsals, there's like performances that you can see here. You really wouldn't tell it's on the side of the hustle bustle of Manhattan City. I'm really impressed about how much New York is able to capture so many green spaces and outdoor spaces in a city like Manhattan. They've really done it really well and made it super accessible to a lot of different people. So for that, I think it's absolutely brilliant to visit. You definitely can take each day at a different pace, at a different energy level, and that's what's absolutely surprising me about the city. I'm now heading a few blocks further down south to go to the beginning of the High Line. It's where the old railroad used to be going through Manhattan, and yeah, they've really done some fantastic things with it. The beginning of the High Line. Oh my goodness, the leaves are starting to turn. While I'm walking the High Line, I thought I'd throw out some fun facts about it that not everyone knows when they actually are on it. In the mid-19th century, New York basically needed a train system when they didn't have one. So they built some street-level crossings and some street-level lines. By 1910, there had been over 500 deaths from pedestrians just crossing the tracks, and understandably, there began to become some serious community outrage at this and pushback against the actual train system itself. Basically, the government came up with a solution to elevate the train tracks above street level to reduce the ability of pedestrians accessing them. And by 1934, this track had opened and was called the West Side Elevated Line. The remnants of the old rail tracks. By the 1980s and the rise of commercial trucking, this line basically became obsolete and was no longer in use. Perceived as a safety hazard and eyesore of this now redundant train line, there was a lot of calls from community to tear it down, and by 1990 to 1991, a lot of the track had already been demolished. During this time period also, Manhattan was severely lacking green space and amenity, which was going very much noticed by the community. And slowly, as the abandoned rail line that was left alone began to naturally seed through birds and wind and pollen, people decided in 1999 to put in an application to repurpose this whole train line that was still in existence. So with all of these applications, it eventually got through, and in 2009, the first section of the High Line was officially open to the public as a green space and a walking area. The architecture along here is absolutely phenomenal. It's so different in parts. And this is how people keep their cars in New York a lot of the time. The final part of the High Line actually wasn't opened until 2019, which is only 4 years ago, and that final section wraps around the Hudson Yards, which is where the High Line officially ends. So this place has had some really cool history around it, and it's a great example of old industrial areas and old industrial infrastructure being reused for a lot of good. So it's a really cool place to come and walk, get away from the hustle bustle of the streets, and I really recommend checking it out. The history of the High Line is actually so interesting. I think it's something that really reflects a lot of the history of New York, of things being built, things going wrong, trying to find an alternative solution, and as this city moves into the next couple of decades, really trying to beautify the city and bring together some key aspects of it that really give the city different feels in different areas. And I think it's an absolutely great place to visit, so definitely put the High Line on your list. Tell you what's really crazy, this building, the shed behind me, is actually designed to fully roll back, like fully retract, so you can have an outdoor entertainment space and an indoor one if needed. It is industrially big, like obviously, but for reference, that's the size of the wheel. That's wild. Some really cool engineering going on in this city, like really cool. Absolutely insane. Whoa. So I just finished up at the Edge building, which is at the end of the High Line here, going out to a bar tonight in the city, so around Wall Street and Friday. So I do have to head back for that, but for now let's walk around the Garment District and head towards Times Square. Empire State Building. Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Now headed away from the Garment District and the Empire State Building up towards Times Square again. I'm gonna go back into the Chaos just for this little bit and then head east towards Grand Central via the New York State Library. I've been told it's really beautiful in there, so I'll go check that out. And then I think I'm gonna head back and get all my stuff ready for an exciting adventure I have tomorrow, but that will be in a different video. Anyway, let's get to Times Square. Oh my goodness, the chaos of this area, as well as the smells. It is a bit of a dirtier area, but that just comes with the nature of being a highly trafficked, chaotic, well, everything. It's honestly, the energy here is insane. Definitely don't expect the peaceful little walk like you would have, say for instance, down in the West Village, or say for instance, Upper East Side. It is definitely chaos central here. Some pretty questionable odors coming from the drains, but hey, it wouldn't be New York City without it. Hard Rock Cafe. Come prepared to be hassled and haggled in Times Square, but it's all part of the experience. And honestly, it's Times Square. What do you expect? Just arrived in Bryant Park, which is right outside the front of the New York State Library, and I'm pretty sure they're beginning to set up their Christmas markets, which is insane. It's only halfway through October. But all I can say is that if you're in New York at the time of these markets at Christmas time, I've seen pictures and videos and it looks like a really, really cool experience. So hopefully I'll get to see them, but if not, that's just another thing on the bucket list. I am starting to get super tired. I usually can walk and walk and walk and walk, but I feel like having consistent days of about 15 to 18 kilometers around the city is super, super tiring, as well as a sensory overload. This place, you are on hyper alert 24/7, which is great, but definitely take some time for yourself and just chill and recoup. And if I can give you any pieces of advice, is give yourself more time than you need, because you will want a few down hours in between the mayhem that is New York. Oh. American thing. Do they always bring just...
Not
Everything, but Italian.
The best
They are
ones,
amazing.
yeah.
Cheers. Oh my goodness, this is my hand. It's huge. Thank you.
What is the parm gel?
Yeah. Excellent polka pasta. Oh my goodness. Okay, I know I didn't have time to properly say where we were, but we just went to Parkside Italian restaurant here in Queens, and it was absolutely amazing. First off, I want to say cultural difference. A lot of places in America, especially around here in Italian restaurants, bring you out bread and cheeses and meats and everything to begin with, and oh my goodness, the bread was absolutely insane. So was the cheese. And then we went on to a caprese salad, which I don't think I ended up filming because we were just so hungry after the drive. And then we went straight into our pastas. I got the truffle mushroom, then there was a penne alla vodka, and then an eggplant parmigiana. And also I am now continuing this after our weekend upstate, which if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I will link it down below. It was posted before this one. I'm now continuing on from my day last week. It's Monday tomorrow. That was such a good meal to start off the new week with, and Parkside Italian in Queens. So good, so good. Anyway, time for a good sleep and then a new week of adventuring. Okay, good morning. It's Monday morning. It's a brand new week here in New York City. Now I am carrying this video over from last Thursday because Friday through the Sunday I actually went to upstate New York, and if you guys haven't checked out that video, make sure to click the link down below, and I will also link it up above because oh my goodness, that trip was amazing. I got most things off my bucket list done, and I'm so grateful again that my friends were able to take me. It's Monday morning, and one thing I've noticed being here in New York City is a lot of shops actually don't open till 11 a.m. and they actually close around 7 or 8 p.m, which is really different to Australia. Most stores are open by 9:30 and then they close at pretty promptly at 4:35. So the city seems to tend to run on a later schedule. We actually have been having dinner at like 10 p.m. most nights, between 9 and 10, which is wild for me, but it actually means that I get so much more done in the day, so I'm not mad about it, but it is meaning I am typically getting a later start than what I usually do. These are some of the things that I bought at one of the pumpkin patches and apple orchards up in upstate New York, and I thought I'd give it a try. So this first one is a pumpkin roll. Look at that. Taking it's like a sponge cake. That is what it is. It's a pumpkin version of those. Strawberry jam roll up. That's what I'm thinking. That's really good. I'm gonna catch the train into Union and 14th Street. I'm gonna go up to Grand Central. I'm just gonna walk, take some photos of Grand Central, and then I'm thinking I'm going to walk to the Rockefeller Center. I'm undecided whether I pay to go to the top of the rock because it's about $80 US, and the exchange rate now for Australia is really horrible. And then across to the west, let's get on with the day. Oh my goodness, I've just stepped out onto the street and it's actually quite chilly this morning, but the weather is gorgeous. The sun is out and I am going to do my usual morning routine here and crack a new Celsius flavor. Not my favorite lemon lime. Got to get a new subway ticket today because I only got the 7-day one. Get a new one of those. It'll last for a week, so that's, I think it's like $34 plus tax. In Australian dollars is, oh my goodness, ignore the exchange rate. Get off at 14th and Union, walk up to Grand Central and see where we end up. Didn't even realize it, but the walk from 14th and Union through the Grand Central actually takes me through the Flatiron District and directly past the Flatiron Building. I swear, every single time I try and photograph and see the Flatiron Building, it's under renovation. And again, it happened again this trip. I've started to get really hungry, so I think I'm gonna head to Sweet Green on my way to the New York State Library, then Grand Central, and then up to Central Park. Good easy meal, what can I say? First rating of Sweet Green was actually pretty decent. It was pretty reasonably priced. The portions were pretty big and I feel really full, so I thought that there was a good balance of everything. Anyway, easy to grab and go on the way, and I'm glad that I got some green in it. I'm here in the New York Public State Library, and this building is absolutely gorgeous. The marble, the quartz, the artwork, the displays are absolutely phenomenal. Now, I don't have too much time to spend here, but I definitely think if you're a library museum person, you could spend an entire day walking around here, looking at what you can see. They also have really functional study rooms and research rooms, so if that's up your alley, definitely hit up the New York State Library and spend a decent amount of time here. I'm going to continue exploring around, and then I'm going to head to Grand Central and then finally up to Hyde Park. Welcome to Grand Central Terminal here in New York City. This place is absolutely bustling, and I can definitely see why. Not only is it a hub for all of the subway system here, the actual architecture of the building is absolutely phenomenal. The roof has just been freshly painted, something that I didn't get to see last time I was here, and all of the marble has been reinstated. All I can think of though is that opening scene to Gossip Girl where Serena gets off the train, and yes, call it basic, but Grand Central will always remind me of Blake Lively on those steps. Grand Central Station, as we know it today, was opened in 1913, built from 1903. However, it wasn't always like this. Originally, this area was just the industrial train lot, located far further north than the central commerce hub, which we now know as Wall Street. Today, Grand Central Station sees over 750,000 visitors per day and is now a national and international icon. A little known fact about this central concourse is that the windows either side of it actually used to have natural light streaming in them, and once the high-rise surrounding this area was built, it no longer could afford the natural light. So this area, as we now see it today, looks a lot different than when it was first erected. I've just made it to the Rockefeller Center here in Midtown, and it's not as busy as I remember, but the last time I was here was just before Christmas, literally Christmas Eve. I think I left New York last time. The smells of this part of Midtown, walking through the Columbus Circle, are so good. If I wasn't heading down to East Village tonight, I definitely would be tempted to grab some takeaway food and sit in the park opposite.
You better give me your peanuts.
I've just made it back downtown to West Village. I think I said East Village earlier, but I was tired, I got it wrong. I'm walking down to Washington Square Park again, and from there, gonna hit up a couple of pubs down here and see what we can find for tea. Oh my god, it's so cute.
Oh my god, yes, I'm so good. You want to play good?
Thank you.
So they'll do half light, half dark, I'll just do light.
West Village was great. McSorley's, mint too. Great beers. You only order light and dark. It's pretty good. Once again, good morning. Happy Tuesday. How is everyone? I'm starting off my day, surprise, surprise, with another Celsius tasting. This time I've got the infamous Arctic vibe. It's sparkling frozen berry, so I'm hoping it doesn't taste like cherry because I really don't like cherry flavored things. Plan for today: go to the Natural History Museum first. No, I'm not sure. I don't know how long I'll spend at the Natural History Museum. I know I'm going to spend a decent amount of time there. I'm heading back down to Dumbo today for dinner. Let's get this one opened. Tastes like a hint of cherry. Let's get to the city. Welcome to the west side of Central Park. I've just arrived here at the American Museum of Natural History. I've just booked my tickets. You have to book them online these days, so I've reserved those. I've also reserved the planetarium experience, the Worlds Beyond Earth exhibit, and that is an extra pay little entry thing. So I'm really excited. That's at 12:30. It's now, entry is at 11, so that's in 10 minutes. I'm so excited. Last time I came here, I spent a lot of time here, and this time I think I'm going to spend even more. Let's get into the museum. I am so excited for this one. I made it into the museum and it is really, really busy. You don't technically have to reserve tickets before you come in, but to avoid the massive line, you basically go through security, and if you've already pre-downloaded tickets and pre-bought them, you go straight through the museum. If not, there's like a 1 hour wait to get tickets, so definitely reserve a time slot. So I think I'm going to start with the obvious African mammals, which is the first exhibit that you see as you come into the building. I've just finished in the African mammals, and oh my goodness, that was chaos, but such informative exhibits. Also, I really appreciated the original range and the present range because it really highlights the change in where these animals are present and where they once were. Also, the exhibits, they are so well kept and done. I'm in the Asian mammals exhibit at the moment, and this has virtually no one inside of it. It seems that everyone congregates to the African and then to the space, and it's actually great to come here when there's nobody here because you just get a pretty relaxing experience here. The thing I love about space and astronomy is that it's just so mind-blowing, the scales that you deal with and just the concepts, and when you start to really think about it, it's just, your head goes everywhere. I don't actually have time to even look at the rest of this scales exhibit. I'm going to go into here, do my paid exhibit. This is actually insane. I love science so much.
America got an inferiority complex.
Okay, that was really, really good, and I'd highly recommend for the extra $5. It is so worth it to do that Hayden Planetarium. Planets outside the universe, definitely worth it. Anyway, I've decided rather than head back to the Asian peoples and actual people section of the museum, I kind of want to stick on the space bandwagon while my head's in that sphere. So I'm gonna come back, do this, finish the scales of the universe, redo that little 5-minute show there because you can't actually walk down the Big Bang history path without doing it again, and I didn't get the chance to do that, so I'm gonna go and do that, and then I'll head back to the humanities. This is actually crazy when you actually think about the scales. Got the universe, galactic, stellar, planetary, human, and then finally atomic. It's wild. For me, with these scale models, it's the moment that you get to the Oort cloud and the Kuiper belt, which the Kuiper belt is the outer kind of asteroid belt out past Neptune. Once you get to that scale, that's where you go. Where is it in this camera? That's the Kuiper Belt. That's the Oort cloud. The Oort cloud is just all of comets and space debris out there. And the Kuiper Belt is like a distinct array of them. Yeah, space is wild. Again, what I love about astronomy is just the more you think about it, the more your mind warps. Light is the fastest thing in known existence. Yet when we see light out in space, it's light that was emitted potentially billions of years ago, so it's a snapshot in time. And the way you're seeing stars as they are today is, if like that star is 13 light years away, the light that you're seeing today was emitted 13 years ago. So it's literally a snapshot into, oh, this star was like this 13 years ago. It's just, the more you just stargaze and appreciate, the more your mind just explodes. It's so cool. I love it so much. Seeing stromatolite here. These are actually on my favorite thing is when my science loves crossover, and this is an example of it. Space meets geology, and it's talking about the stromatolites, it's talking about the meteorites, and it's talking about these banded iron formations and how you can look at the first living organisms, the first bacteria, and it's just so cool when two of your loves cross over. What I would do to go and see the meteor craters on this trip, I don't know what. I know I'm not going to get a chance, but that's definitely going to be a priority on future trips to the US. So this eclogite was literally formed 60 kilometers below the surface. Like, that's wild. I've seen these in Victoria. They're really, really cool. To my happy surprise, volcanoes are in here with all of the space and geology, and this may just be my favorite part of any museum. If you put rocks, space and volcanoes all in one area, I will spend an obscene amount of time in there. Should we make an earthquake? Oh, that's cool. If you're ever near Melbourne Airport, Melbourne Tullamarine, you can actually see these. There's a little state park that's little known to the public. Look, they're literally talking about fluvial geomorphology. I'm so happy. This is a petrified wood piece, same as what I found in Chinchilla.
Oh, I've been here. Oh, I have a picture right here. This video doesn't do it justice how big this guy really is.
Until you're actually here in person, photos don't do it justice how big these things really are. It doesn't even fit in the room.
The first strand of DNA, the basis of all life.
Information to understanding more accurately what was the limit in terms of body size.
Okay, officially I am running out of time. I have been here for 6 hours and I definitely skipped over things. I haven't even seen this floor of the African mammals, which is the top level of it. That's where we started 6 hours ago. I still haven't done everything. Oh my goodness, you could almost say a day per floor if you're actually going through everything. This is insane. We're out. I need to go get a snack before I head downtown towards Dumbo. Oh, this is a good shot. Oh, that's the one. Time at market. Welcome to Brooklyn at night. I know I've been here in a previous video. It was my first one exploring the city, but right now we're here at night. We're waiting for Grimaldi's Pizza, which is one of the famous pizza spots here in New York City. I have been twice, but you know what? Third time's the charm.
It's full right now.
It's basically like
We're at Grimaldi's Pizza here in Brooklyn. We got the bruschetta to start. Camera focus. That is what we're dealing with right now. The bread is fantastic. The flavors there in the basil.
Want me to start breaking it off?
Let's get that pizza and the thing in Manhattan, parmesan and chili flakes. Always chili flakes. That's really good. Grimaldi's now has locations everywhere, but the original one was here in Brooklyn. Pizza slices are as big as my head.
¿Cuánta la carica?
You haven't seen it all lit up though.
Oh my goodness, what a couple of days. I've had so much fun exploring the city, the High Line, the museums. I've just had a blast. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end off this video here, but oh my goodness, Grimaldi's was really good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of a couple of days in New York City, and I hope you guys will continue to follow along because I've got plenty more where this came from. Anyway, if you enjoyed, smash that like button down below because it really lets me know that you guys enjoy these videos and it helps me know what to film. I lied, this wasn't the end of the video. This is. Catching the ferry back home in New York is honestly a magical experience. It's a great way to see the city skyline, grab out your camera and just enjoy the commute home. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow along. I've got heaps on where it came from and I'll see you guys in the next adventure.